How's it going? If you clicked on the video and you want to find out exactly how much I made in the first quarter selling on eBay, that number is $62,321.73. If that's all you came here for, you can click off the video. But if you're new here or if you're returning, my name's Sean, I'm a full-time clothing eBay reseller. We're going to talk about how I got to that quarterly sale number. We're going to talk about the fees that come out of that. We're also going to talk about some of the expenses that come out of that that's not shown on the eBay page. We have 19 items to pack up and we have $442.84. But getting back to this first quarter sales, with that I sold 2,670 items. That's a lot of items. I typically list somewhere between 20 and like 30 items a day. And I think that's a pretty good mark to hit if you're trying to make close to a full-time income. I run a volume business with primarily men's clothing. I do mix in some shoes, and when I go to garage sales, I occasionally pick up really cool things like this. This is a Sega Genesis game. It's World of Illusions, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. This was a pretty easy get. I was going to meet my mother-in-law with my son, and all of a sudden I saw this garage sale and I went to check it out. They had a bunch of Blu-rays, which I picked up Alien Covenant and a couple Star Wars movies. And then I found this Sega Genesis game. I'm going to sell this one. I picked it up for $2. It does have the like little cardboard. It's torn up. It's not in perfect condition, but I think I can get more money than some of the cartridges that are listed. Pretty confident on this. Really excited to get the video game sales. But if we're talking about the lifeblood of my business, it's going to be men's clothing. This was a pink Sensor Cool short sleeve polo. I was testing out these pink polos because they were only $1. This one sold for $4 plus $8.99 shipping. That's only going to be about 13 bucks. But at 13 bucks spending $1, that is a profit. Profits on eBay can be made in large sums or it can be made in a bunch of small sums. I go for the volume method because that's what's easiest for me. It's what's available in my areas, and it's something I'm comfortable with, and I'm really okay with that. On a order like this for $13 including shipping, the label's going to be $5.32. $5.32, you know, it's not a lot, but it's not cheap either, you know. It's a fair number to talk about. I have this awesome blue bag, and the reason I have this awesome blue bag is the sponsor of today's video, Jiaropack. Jiaropack is a company that provides poly mailers and bubble mailers for shipping. They are an excellent company, mainly because they have these awesome colors with their mailers. You don't have to go with the boring old white ones anymore. You can get this color here. This is royal blue. They have purples, greens, yellows. They even have daisy if you want to get a little crazy. I've been using them because they reached out to me. You can use my code Taylor10. It gets you 10% off your first order, but there's tons of creators out there. So if you use up that 10%, there's other people you can go to. I've been using them just because, well, whenever I have so many packages, the post office, they know who I am. I spend tons of money on shipping per year, but when they see like 40 bright blue packages going into the little bin, it's very hard for them to misscan one of these, and it's very obvious whenever they're on the trucks. People are more inclined and drawn to colorful things rather than just white poly mailers. That's why I've been going with Jiaropack. I mean, if you use the code Taylor10 and click the link down below, I will get a bit of a kickback. So if you want to help the channel out, you can go ahead and do that. It's a win-win because you're going to get some awesome bags by Jiaropack. Thank you, Jiaropack, for being a longtime sponsor of mine, and I appreciate everything you guys do. And just because we talked about shipping with the Jiaropack, we're going to talk about how much money in shipping I paid for that $62,000 in first quarter sales. That number was $14,452.62. That's a lot of money in labels. If you think about it, you know, you have 2,670 items. Maybe it's $5 on average for shipping label. That's going to get you close to that 14K mark. If you guys want to know how I can make some money off of spending the shipping labels, I use a business credit card, which gets me 3% cash back for that 14,452. And whenever I put that in the calculator, it comes out to $433.56 for the first quarter. So if you extrapolate that by 4, meaning like multiply by 4, that means I'm going to make close to what, $1,700 in cash back just by shipping items. That's one of the benefits of having, like, you know, a business credit card that can get you cash back, because it has certain perks, and when it comes to shipping labels, it's 3%. You can ask me more questions about that card if you want in the comments down below. All right, so we've talked about shipping costs, we've talked about total revenue, we talked about how many items sold. Now let's talk about what are some of the other fees that eBay charges for. Now, eBay will collect the tax on sales, which is good because that can be a bit of a hassle to have to do on your own, which as far as I've been selling on eBay, they've been doing it. So kudos to you, eBay. They also charge a final value fee. Now, final value fee, it kind of depends on what category you're in, but typically it's going to be 10% or something like that, maybe 12, somewhere around that mark. I don't dig into the weeds with the percentage on stuff just because in the end, like, it shows you your net sales afterwards. So that's kind of the number that we're, getting to. But with the selling cost, that total was $25,385. Now, that is the total selling cost for eBay. Includes shipping, I guess. Let's put it that way. Another big hit to that, though, is going to be promoting my listings. Now, I promote all my listings at a flat rate of 10%. I've been doing this since February, and I've noticed a huge increase in sales. Now, some people say you get a huge boost when you start promoting. Some people say that if you go back to 0% promotions, you're going to lose all your sales. I'm not sure any of that's true because I haven't tried it yet. Now, I have a huge inventory. When I started the promoted listings, I had about 5,200 items. And I can tell you this, I've been selling more items than I've been listing pretty much every day. So I'm down to about 4,200 items. So in that last month, I've outsold my store, and that's fine. But it does make sense that as my store shrinks, it's not like I'm going to continue to sell, more than I have. The reason that it's doing that is people are getting things for very cheap. I'm profiting $3 to $7 on most items, and then every now and then I have like a big sale where I profit like 20 plus dollars like that. When we get to our net sales after selling costs on eBay for that first quarter, we're at $33,653. So you're thinking, oh, that's in 3 months. That means you made $11,000 each month net profit. That is incorrect. That is not how much money I made because we have other, costs to talk about. So there are some selling costs that eBay does not show on the sales tab, and what those selling costs are going to be is mainly cost of goods. I sold 2,670 items. I have an average cost of goods of $5, and if you multiply that together, you get a total of $13,350. That's a lot of money on goods, but that's what it takes. Usually I'm spending $5 to make about $7 profit. It's a lot to put in, and it's a long time to wait for some of those items to sell because it's not like they sell every week. Sometimes they do, and then sometimes they sell every month, every 6 months. Sometimes they're a year old in the store, and then they finally sell. So after subtracting that selling cost, you're going to get a true kind of net of $20,303. Now, that is through 3 months. Still not terrible, that's some pretty good money, but there is another expense that we need to talk about, and that's where I'm at right now. I pay for the double R's. That's rent and Randy. So rent for my place is going to be for 3 offices. I have all my inventory in one. I have my photo and shipping station, and then I have a personal office, which I do personal things, mainly computer work. You can do listings. I do some video content in there. I'm going to set it up to do more like live streams over there, most likely. Haven't really figured out all the details yet, but I'm pretty excited about that space. And then I pay Randy. She's a part-time employee. She does my photographs. Sometimes she helps with shipping. She only works 10 hours a week, so not a whole lot of an expense for her, but she enjoys it. I enjoy her company, and it makes work a lot more enjoyable. I work harder whenever she's here, and it's nice to have, someone on your team that wants to work the business. So that's very cool. Can't thank Randy enough. So when we add the double R expense to our 3-month total, it is $3,900 for 3 months. That's $1,300 a month for rent and Randy. It's extremely nice to buy back your time with an employee. If you don't use that time to make more money than what it cost to buy that time, then you're just paying yourself for a vacation, which is nice, but at the same time, you want to utilize that time to make more money. And that's exactly what I've been doing. With things like this YouTube channel, with things like my other businesses that I'm trying to build, it has been really nice. Freeing up time from doing photos, shipping or listing, whatever you're paying for to get done is very nice. It's just like a weight lifted off so that you can get some stuff done. So grand total, how much net profit after all the expenses on eBay? $5,467 is what I take home after all that. $5,400 isn't too bad for like a monthly pay. Now, it's not the best, but for my area, if we keep costs low, my family can survive. If we get a little spendy, I pretty much burn through, most of that money. That's just kind of how it is. The more I work, the more money I make. It seems like the more we spend. Now, I don't even know if that's even like keeping up with the Jonases. I think a lot of that is just how the way of the world is. Money does not go as far as it used to, which is very unfortunate. The only thing you can really do is make more money. And that's what I've been doing with things like this YouTube channel, some of my other businesses that I'm trying to grow, and it's been working out. I would suggest if you're trying to keep costs low, keep your full-time job, keep working part-time, doing this in the early hours or the late nights, build it up until you think you can either quit your job and do this, but you also need to understand that it's not like a one-for-one trade-off. Let's say, for example, you're working 10 hours a week. That's 40 hours a month on eBay part-time, and you're making, I don't know, $1,000. Let's say you say, well, I'm going to go full-time working 40 hours a week. That's 160 hours, and you end up making 4,000. It does not equate one for one like that. You possibly will make less than that just because things change as the business grows. But I would suggest sticking with it. Keep on growing what you know, learn different things, find ways to cut costs, use credit cards to save money, find ways with CPAs to save money on taxes. Anything you can do to keep, costs low, profits high, and just keep on churning it through. All right, let's go over the final numbers. So as we said before, 62,000 was the gross sales for 3 months. I ended up doing per month, which is $5,467 net. But let's just say for 3 months, you multiply that by 3 and you're about 16,000, like $200-300. Not the best seller out there, but it's what I do to make a living. I totally got distracted. I had to talk to the property manager. I talked to a friend that came by, and then also I didn't get anything shipped. So I need to hurry up and do that. I've got my Florida trip tomorrow, so I need to be prepared for that and kind of like wrap this video up. But I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys got something from the video. If you have any more questions about something you may not have understood, go ahead and just leave it down in the comments or reach out on Instagram, and I'll talk to you and kind of see like where your head's at with this stuff, so that maybe we can maybe like give you some tips or something so you can get a little better at this. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next one. Bye.